last 3 weeks, over 10,000 people have been killed by the Israeli apartheid regime. And there's no excuse for it. It's genocide, it's ethnic cleansing, and we demand a ceasefire now.
Ooh. Yes, ceasefire now.
And if you hear that, if folks could just, if you hear that silence, that is the silence of Alaska's political leadership, not saying or doing anything. And when it's genocide and when it's ethnic cleansing, silence means you are choosing a side. You are choosing the side of the oppressor. And so I want to announce that PSL Anchorage, we are demanding that the Anchorage Assembly pass a resolution condemning Israel for war crimes and for ethnic cleansing in Gaza. And we are asking them to put pressure on the federal government to demand a ceasefire from Israel.
Ceasefire now!
Ceasefire now!
Ceasefire now! Ceasefire now! Ceasefire now!
Free Palestine!
Free Palestine! Free
It's not
Palestine!
cold anymore. Also, what was I going to say? Also, we need our state to step up as well, because in the last legislative session, House Representative Sarah Vance tried to introduce a bill, she's from the peninsula, that would make it illegal to be a part of the boycott, divestment, sanctions movement against Israel. And so we have to be wary of any state politicians that are trying to pass pro-Zionist, pro-occupation bills through the state legislature. So that is something we're also going to do is keep our track of.
Yeah.
So
Especially
I just want to get
with
into
Dunbar.
it with our speakers because it is really cold.
Especially
It's
given
wet
that
and it's
Dunbar's
gross.
there.
But I'm really happy everyone's here today. Thank you for being here. I'm going to hand it off to our next speaker.
Wait. Allow me to stand before you today as the voice of my family and ancestors, who were silenced and continue to be silenced by the weight of injustice and discrimination. My name is Mais Hazem, and I am the daughter of 2 Palestinian immigrants who made the journey to America years ago. The gratitude I feel for the life I live today is immeasurable, yet is tinged with the pain of witnessing the horrifying images of my people being massacred on their own land. I cannot help but think that the person buried under those rubbles could have been me. The one torn to pieces could have been a beloved family member, so why not me? We have been given the opportunity to use our voices to advocate for those who cannot. From a young age, my family instilled in my siblings and I the significance of being Palestinian. They taught me to be proud of my heritage and to have the courage to stand up for our rights. Yet even the land we call home, what is considered the occupied land, I was afraid to utter the word Palestine for fear of repercussions. This fear has transformed into anger and rage, fueled by the continuous discrimination against my family and fellow Palestinians. The suffering of Palestinians did not begin on October 7th. It is ongoing. We bear witness to a struggle of generations of suffering, oppression, apartheid, and the ongoing fight against genocide. In recent weeks, I have watched with a heavy heart as the conflict in my homeland has escalated, bringing unimaginable suffering to my people. But this suffering has persisted since 1948 and every year thereafter, a relentless assault on human rights and international law. Palestinians face a daily reality of fear, discrimination, and violence, all while being systematically silenced and oppressed. Palestinians carry not only the weight of their right to return, but the weight of the past and uncertainty of the present and future. The apartheid that stains our land is a brutal reminder of systematic injustice, restrictions to freedom, and the constant struggle for freedom. These are realities the Palestinian people face daily, not only in Palestine, but here in the United States as well. The world needs to understand that speaking up against the actions of Israel is not anti-Semitic. Palestinians, like any other people, have the right to resist an occupation, the right to resist a siege, and the right to resist a genocide imposed upon them. It is a right to fight for justice, for the freedom to be Palestinian on our own land, and to resist being ethnically cleansed and wiped out as the world watches, claiming Israel has the right to defend itself. We demand accountability. The international community must recognize the complicity of some nations in this ongoing genocide. The United States in particular must acknowledge its role in seize funding a massacre while neglecting its own troubled population. Our voices should not be stifled by baseless accusations of anti-Semitism or terrorism. We are not terrorists. We are a people fighting for our homeland, for our dignity, for our self-determination, and for right to exist without fear. We are all here today to resist settler colonialism, to resist ethnic cleansing, to resist our tax dollars funding a genocide of the Palestinian people, to resist and fight for the generations who have lived under illegal military occupation, oppression, apartheid, and relentless adversity. We are here to be the voice for the silenced who have been deprived of basic human rights. Let us not be the blind to the double standards that persist. While we are condemned for speaking out, celebrations erupt in some quarters at the death of Palestinians. This asymmetry in the narrative must end. We call for a ceasefire from Israel, but we know that this is not the end of our struggle. Even if Israel stops, the fight for justice continues, for the right to return to our grandparents' land, and for the freedom to live as Palestinians on our ancestral soil. We must remain steadfast, united, and unyielding in our demand for justice. Our fight is not just for us, but for the generations that came before us and for those that will come after. We will not give up, and we will not stop holding Israel accountable. Let us work together to end this cycle of violence and injustice. It's always free Palestine.
Free Palestine! Free Palestine all day.
Free Palestine!
Free Palestine!
From the river to the sea!
Palestine will be free!
All right, I'm going to hand the mic off to our next speaker.
Hello everyone, I'm Aisha, and I've been crying every day. Sometimes every hour, and I feel so helpless as I watch my tax money fund an ethnic genocide. So I donate, I post on social media, I have uncomfortable conversations with evangelical friends, yet it feels useless. Every day, I wake up to more devastating news, and I try to function throughout my day, and then cry myself to sleep, and the cycle continues. Well, it's time to break the cycle. You must be wondering, what can I do? I don't live in a big city like DC. It's so far away from what's happening here in my hometown. It's on the other side of the world, but that's wrong. Our state alone, Our state alone donates $7 million a year to fund this genocide, and our city alone donates over $3 million. That's money that could be going to our schools, going to our kids, but instead it's being used to kill children on the other side of the world to fulfill a Zionist rapture fantasy. So, oh people of Anchorage, I implore you, please call and email our local politicians. Every call, every email matters. It gets tallied up. The more calls, the better. And it's a lot easier than you think. You just have to text ceasefire to this number. And if you have social anxiety, don't worry. There's an easy prompt that gets texted to you that you can recite off of. And I see some uncles and aunties and babas in the audience. So if English isn't your first language, take a picture of this and send it to your daughters, your sons, your nieces and nephews, and have them do it.
Or your cousins.
The more calls that you make, it gets tallied up and they get annoyed. And they can't ignore us any longer. And if we do that every single day, if we put an alarm on our phone every hour of the day that we just keep calling and texting, it will make a difference. And I cannot stress this enough. So thank you for being here. Unfortunately, I feel like this won't be the last time we'll be here. I might see you again next week or in 2 weeks from now. But until then, Godspeed and Jazakallah khair.
Jazakallah khair. Free Palestine!
Free Palestine!
Free Palestine!
Free Palestine!
Free Palestine!
Because it's cold, we're going to get marching soon, but I just want to go over some chants because we came up with some new ones, and I always give this disclaimer, I know as Alaskans, I said this last time if you were here last time, everyone is very passive in Alaska. Like, I will have a nightmare if I forget to open a door for somebody, and I'll be haunted by it for my life. But who's angry?
Oh, I am.
No, come on, who's angry?
I am.
Ceasefire now! Ceasefire now! Ceasefire now! Ceasefire now! All right, that's yes. So that's one of the chants. Obviously, it's free Palestine, and then from the river to the sea.
Palestine will be free.
But this one, hey Joe, you can't hide. We charge you with genocide. All right, ready?
Hey Joe.
Hey Joe,
You can't hide.
we charge you with genocide. Hey Joe, you can't hide. We charge you with genocide. All right. So we're gonna, if you're a volunteer, can I get you to come forward and then wait behind here with me, please? We're gonna get started pretty soon, but I do want to give folks about 5 minutes before we march, and then we're going to get started. Okay? Thank you for being here. Oh, we have a lot of volunteers. Good. All right.
Gloves on.
All right, folks. We're gonna get 5 minutes, and then we're gonna hit the streets. Thank you.
Hace mucho frío. Ça c'est très froid. All right. Let's turn it off now.